Sematery is another live-action adaptation of a Stephen King novel. It is also a remake of the 1989 film Pet Sematery. I haven't actually read the novel, but I'm pretty sure you guys knew that already. I'm just here to talk about the movie, and let's just keep it at that. The film stars Jason Clarke and other people. There are other people. Oh wait, John Lithgow. It stars John Lithgow. For some reason, I'm spacing on the names of the actors and actresses in the rest of the movie, but it's not because I don't think they did a respectable job. It's just because, again, I'm really bad with names. So you guys should know the basic premise of Pet Sematery, especially if you saw like the second trailer for this movie. Oh my god. In this movie, Jason Clarke and his family are relocating from Boston to a remote area. They go to some beautiful little house in the middle of nowhere. On their way, they discover a strange cemetery that's also attached to their property where people from other areas bring their pets and bury them to, remember them. And after a terrible accident involving the cat of this family, they bury the cat in the cemetery, and then all of a sudden the cat comes back to life. And so this is a movie that deals with things that die and then get buried and then come back to life. I don't really feel like giving away anything else because, again, if you saw any of the trailers, you basically saw the entire movie. I'm going to try to keep things vague out there because I hate spoilers and I don't want to give that away for anybody that just wanted to go into this movie blind. So all you really need to know is that the cat died and then they tried to bring it back and it worked. And the cat wasn't the same as before, and that's basically the plot. I do want to commend the names of the actors and the actresses in this movie overall, even the ones that I can't remember the names of. Jason Clarke, I feel like, is an underrated actor. I feel like that guy never really gets his due, or he's never in a movie that really gets to showcase how great he is. He actually did a pretty solid job in this movie, all things considering. John Lithgow, he's John Lithgow. Lithgow is just TD in almost every movie he's in. What does TD stand for? TD stands for that dude. He is definitely kind of the exposition character in the movie. He plays an old man that lives very close to their house and then befriends this family and befriends their daughter. And even though you know what his role is and it's kind of cliche, kind of familiar, kind of predictable, you still go with it because, again, it is John Lithgow. Definitely has its fair share of creepy scenes, mostly involving that cat. Definitely, if you had second thoughts about getting a cat, this movie might shove you violently into the hell no category. That cat is one evil, twisted, psychotic bitch. Think about Sylvester, how many years he chased Tweety. Even he didn't lose his shit like this. The movie does have some good acting. It does have some creepy and effective sequences and imagery, especially in the third act. I'll also say that sometimes with a lot of horror movies, it's about how it sounds, like how real it sounds, how scary it sounds. The sound mixing and the sound editing is something that not a lot of people pay attention to in horror films, but because I'm a movie nerd, I pay attention to this type of shit. So I do want to single out the movie for having really good sound editing. It's all about the music, it's all about the sound, it's all about how it's cut and edited together and how it flows with the scene that really draws you into the atmosphere. And when this movie wanted to, it definitely did a good, effective job at dragging you into its atmosphere and making you really feel it. I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it because I don't sugarcoat shit on this channel because I've always prided myself on being honest as hell when I talk about a movie, and I'm going to be honest as hell in this case. This movie was boring as fuck! It was boring as fuck for several reasons. Namely, the first two acts of this movie are incredibly hard to watch. They're hard to watch because, number one, there is an over-reliance and an overabundance on pointless, really dry-ass exposition. Characters basically walk around or sit around or stand talking and telling you the entire plot. Like, they're force-feeding you the story and the characters from their own mouths. Because the first two acts of this movie deal with a lot of setup and a lot of foreshadowing and a lot of telling you the plot, telling you the characters' backstories, explaining things over and over to you. The first two acts of this film kind of a slow burn, and it's not a really interesting slow burn if I have to be honest. Could have made the first two acts of this movie at least tolerable is if it had had more interesting and compelling characters, but unfortunately this movie doesn't even do that shit. A lot of the characters are very bland, they're not really written in a very compelling or intriguing way. Jason Clarke, who is the main character of this movie, he's a cardboard in this movie. I'm sorry, there's just no other way to say it. The dude was stiffer than Morning Dick, and I don't want to watch Morning Dick when I'm watching a movie, especially not with a lead actor. You add that to the fact that this movie does rely visually on a lot of cliche horror movie tropes and a lot of things that you've seen before. A lot of scenes where people are walking slowly down hallways, or a lot of scenes where people see things that weren't there before. There's also a heavy overabundance of visions and fake dream sequences. Like, that populates pretty much the entire first two acts. It is used to build the character of the wife character in this movie, and I do appreciate that sort of. I appreciate a good dream sequence as much as the next guy. I have dreams about Serena Serena Williams nightly. Again, sometimes in a movie like this, it's all about the execution. It's all about how you pull it off, and I feel like this movie could have pulled it off a lot more interesting than it actually did. But then in the third act of the movie, characters start making decisions where the entire plot rests on these decisions. That's okay, because that happens in a lot of movies nowadays, especially in horror movies. Like, there are a lot of plot conveniences scattered throughout the story. Not just that characters make these decisions and they don't really make sense, they make decisions that don't really fit their character. That to me just screams bad writing, and I have to say that bad writing and boring ass first two acts of the movie equals a movie that I don't really want to watch again. Pet Sematery wasn't awful, but it wasn't good either, and I'm gonna put it in the guilty pleasure section of Smallville. Guys, sorry I'm late with the Pet Sematery review. Stay tuned, I've got more videos coming. Tell me, did you like the movie? Did you enjoy it? Did you like this one, or did you like the 1989 version better? Let me know how you felt about it in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace!